7 paradoxes that will change the way you think about everything. Listen closely. What I'm about to tell you will disturb you. Good. Discomfort is the price of awakening. You've been lied to your entire life. They told you the world rewards virtue, that kindness is returned, that hard work guarantees success. Beautiful lies, comfortable lies, lies that keep you weak. The truth? The world doesn't operate on fairness, it operates on power. And those who understand this truly understand it, move through life untouchable, while others drown in their delusions. Today, I'm giving you 7 paradoxes, 7 truths that contradict everything you've been taught. These aren't motivational platitudes. This is the cold architecture of reality. Master these, and you become dangerous. Ignore them, and you remain prey. Drop a comment right now. I choose power over comfort. Let me know you're ready for this. Paradox 1. The weakness of strength. Here's your first paradox. The stronger you appear, the weaker you actually become. Think about it. The man who flexes his muscles constantly, who brags about his achievements, who needs everyone to know he's powerful, what is he really doing? He's revealing his insecurity. He's showing you exactly where to strike. True strength hides itself. It moves in silence. It doesn't announce. It doesn't posture. It simply acts when necessary, and the world feels the impact without warning. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. The prince who everyone fears is already losing control. Fear is expensive. It requires constant maintenance, constant displays, constant reminders. But the prince who is both loved and feared strategically, he rules effortlessly because no one sees the machinery of his power. Your ego is your greatest liability. Every time you need validation, you give others a weapon. Every time you need to prove yourself, you expose your fragility. The moment you stop caring about appearing strong is the moment you actually become strong. Watch the truly powerful. They're often unremarkable. They don't dominate conversations. They don't need the spotlight. They sit back, observe, calculate, and when they move, it's decisive, final. No theatrics necessary. This is your first lesson in becoming untouchable. Stop performing strength. Stop seeking recognition. Let others chase approval while you accumulate real power in the shadows. The lion doesn't announce itself before it hunts. Comment this phrase, I move in silence. Show me you understand the difference between appearing powerful and being powerful. Your weakness isn't your lack of strength. It's your need to display it. Fix this, and you're already ahead of 90% of people around you. Paradox 2. The tyranny of truth. Paradox 2 will make you uncomfortable. The more honest you are, the more enslaved you become. They taught you honesty is virtue. Speak your truth. Be authentic. Be transparent. Noble ideas. Suicidal strategies. Because here's what they didn't tell you. Truth is a weapon, and you're handing it to your enemies. Every time you reveal your true intentions, you give others the map to manipulate you. Every time you expose your vulnerabilities in the name of authenticity, you're marking targets on your own chest. Radical honesty isn't bravery. It's tactical stupidity. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince must learn to deceive without appearing deceptive. Not because deception is inherently good, but because survival demands flexibility. The world is full of wolves dressed as sheep. If you insist on being the one honest sheep, you'll be devoured before sunset. Listen carefully. I'm not advocating lying for sport. I'm teaching you strategic ambiguity. There's a profound difference between dishonesty and discretion. You don't owe anyone access to your thoughts, your plans, or your weaknesses. Silence isn't deception, it's protection. The most dangerous people you'll ever meet smile warmly while concealing their true nature. They've mastered the art of necessary masks. They show people what serves their interests, nothing more. They understand that in a world where information is power, the person who reveals least controls most. Your brutal honesty, it's not integrity, it's laziness. You haven't developed the sophistication to navigate complex social terrain, so you default to bluntness and call it authenticity. Meanwhile, those who understand this paradox shape reality itself because they control the narrative. Watch politicians, watch CEOs. Watch anyone who operates at the highest levels. They never fully reveal their hand. They speak in carefully constructed ambiguities. They master the art of saying everything while committing to nothing. This isn't weakness, this is mastery. Your truth belongs to you alone. Guard it. Weaponize it when necessary. But never, ever give it away freely in the name of some misguided notion of authenticity. Drop this in the comments. My truth is my fortress. Let me know you're starting to see the game clearly. Stop being an open book. Become a locked vault that opens only when strategically advantageous. Paradox 3. The burden of freedom. Paradox 7 is the cruelest. The more freedom you gain, the heavier the weight you carry. Everyone wants freedom. Escape the 9 to 5. Break the chains. Live on your own terms. Be your own boss. Answer to nobody. Beautiful dream. Terrifying reality. Because freedom isn't liberation. It's responsibility without excuses. And most people can't handle that. Here's what nobody tells you. When you have a boss, a system, a structure dictating your life, you have someone to blame. Your failures aren't really yours. The system failed you. Your boss held you back. Circumstances conspired against you. Comfortable narratives, protective lies. Freedom destroys all of that. When you're truly free, every failure is yours. Every missed opportunity, your fault. Every bad decision, your responsibility. Every wasted day, your choice. There's no system to blame, no authority to resent. Just you, facing the mirror, accountable for everything. Most people discover they preferred the cage. Machiavelli observed that men desire freedom, but few can handle its weight. They want autonomy without accountability, power without responsibility, choice without consequence. It doesn't work that way. Freedom and burden are inseparable. The prince who rules himself must bear what the servant delegates to his master. This is why most people self-sabotage when they get close to real freedom. They finally escape the corporate world, then immediately create new prisons, new routines, new obligations, new authorities to submit to, because structure feels safer than sovereignty. Limitation feels better than limitless possibility. The known cage beats the unknown wilderness. The dark psychology here is simple. Freedom terrifies because it removes excuses. It forces you to confront your own inadequacy, your own weakness, your own lack of discipline. When you're controlled, you can fantasize about what you'd accomplish if only you were free. When you're actually free, you discover whether those fantasies had substance. Usually they don't. The mirror is brutal. True freedom requires strength most people don't possess. It requires self-governance, self-discipline, self-motivation. It requires becoming your own harsh master, because no external master exists. The untouchable man understands this. He doesn't romanticize freedom. He respects its weight. He develops the capacity to carry it. Comment: I accept freedom's weight. Show me you understand. Liberation isn't ease, it's responsibility. Stop chasing freedom if you're not ready to bear its burden. Build the strength first, develop the discipline, then claim your sovereignty. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Paradox 4, the prison of morality. Paradox 3 cuts deepest. The more moral you try to be, the more you guarantee your own defeat. This sounds evil. It's not. It's observation. Stay with me. Morality is a beautiful concept. In an ideal world, everyone plays by the same rules. Everyone honors the same code. Everyone operates with integrity. But we don't live in that world. We live in this one. And in this world, your rigid morality becomes the chain that binds you while others run free. Here's the mechanism. You've adopted a moral code. Perhaps from religion, from philosophy, from your upbringing. You've internalized rules about fairness, honesty, loyalty, admirable, truly. But now, you've created a predictability machine. Your enemies know exactly how you'll respond because you've imprisoned yourself in principle. Machiavelli observed that the prince who wants to act virtuously in all circumstances will meet ruin among so many who are not virtuous. This is the fatal equation. Your morality assumes reciprocity. It assumes others will honor the same boundaries. They won't. And while you're busy being honorable, they're busy winning. The dark psychology here is simple. Moral rigidity is exploitable. The man who never lies can be trapped by his own honesty. The man who never breaks his word can be chained by his promises. The man who always plays fair will lose to the man who doesn't, every single time. Does this mean abandon all principles? No. That's the misunderstanding. It means understand that morality is contextual, not absolute. It means recognize that sometimes the moral choice is the one that keeps you alive, keeps you powerful, keeps you able to fight another day. Dead martyrs don't change the world. Living strategists do. Look at history honestly. The leaders who changed civilizations weren't saints. They were pragmatists. They made brutal calculations. They prioritized outcomes over purity. Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon. Lincoln suspended habeas corpus. Churchill firebombed Dresden. Were these moral men? Depends on your framework. Were they effective? Undeniably. Your moral purity is comfortable. It lets you sleep well. It lets you feel superior. But superiority is worthless when you're powerless, when you're irrelevant, when you've been outmaneuvered by people who understood the game you refused to play. The paradox resolves like this. True morality might require immoral acts. Protecting the innocent sometimes demands ruthlessness. Creating justice sometimes requires injustice. The man who can't stomach this complexity will always be ruled by the man who can. I'm not telling you to become a monster. I'm telling you to stop being a predictable fool. Develop a flexible morality that serves your survival and your mission, not a rigid one that serves your ego's need to feel righteous. Comment. Principles serve me, not imprison me. Show me you understand the difference between being good and being effective. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Paradox 5. The death of compassion. Paradox 4 will test everything you believe about human connection. The more you care, the less power you have. Breathe that in. It stings because it contradicts the foundation of your conditioning. You've been taught that caring is strength, that empathy is power, that connection is everything. They lied. Compassion, when uncontrolled, is a leash around your neck that others will pull whenever convenient. Let me show you the mechanism. You care deeply about someone. Maybe family, maybe a friend, maybe a romantic partner. That care is real. It's human. It's also your greatest vulnerability. Because the moment someone knows what you care about, they know how to control you. They know which buttons to push. They know where you'll compromise, where you'll sacrifice, where you'll break. Machiavelli wrote that it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Why? Because love creates obligation. Love creates dependency. Love makes you predictable. The prince who rules through affection becomes hostage to that affection. His people know he'll sacrifice his interests to maintain their approval. They own him. Watch how this plays out in your life. Your compassion gets weaponized constantly. Your boss knows you care about your team, so you accept unreasonable demands to protect them. Your partner knows you fear abandonment, so they leverage it during conflict. Your parents know you seek their approval, so you contort yourself to earn it. Every attachment is a handle for manipulation. This is dark psychology at its clearest. Emotional investment creates exploitable patterns. The man who loves nothing cannot be threatened. The man who needs nothing cannot be bribed. The man who cares about nothing cannot be controlled. This is why psychopaths often rise to power, not because they're superior, but because they're immune to the emotional leverage that destroys everyone else. Now here's where this gets complex, because I'm not advocating psychopathy. That's a misunderstanding of the paradox. What I'm teaching is strategic detachment. The ability to care without being controlled by that care. The capacity to love without becoming enslaved to that love. The wisdom to know when compassion serves you and when it destroys you. Think of it as emotional compartmentalization. You can care deeply in appropriate contexts while remaining ruthlessly calculating in others. You can love your family fiercely while showing zero mercy to your enemies. You can have profound connections while maintaining the ability to sever them when necessary. This isn't coldness, this is mastery. The untouchable man understands this balance. He experiences the full range of human emotion, but those emotions don't dictate his decisions. He can feel compassion and still make the hard call. He can love someone and still recognize when that person has become a liability. He controls his attachments rather than being controlled by them. Your compassion is beautiful. It's what makes you human. But unguarded compassion in a ruthless world is suicide. You need boundaries. You need the ability to withdraw care when it's being exploited. You need the strength to prioritize your mission over your feelings when circumstances demand it. This doesn't make you heartless. It makes you dangerous. There's a profound difference. The heartless man feels nothing. The dangerous man feels everything, but refuses to be ruled by those feelings. He weaponizes emotion when useful and suppresses it when necessary. He never allows his care to become his cage. Watch the truly powerful navigate relationships. They're warm but never desperate, connected but never dependent, caring but never controlled. They've mastered the paradox of engaged detachment. They're present without being captive. They invest without surrendering sovereignty. This is your fourth lesson. Care strategically, love wisely, connect intentionally, but never ever allow your compassion to become the weapon someone uses to destroy you. The moment you master this paradox, you become nearly impossible to manipulate. Drop this comment. I care without being captured. Tell me you're beginning to understand real emotional intelligence versus emotional weakness. Your compassion doesn't have to disappear. It just needs discipline. Guard it like the precious resource it is. Spend it where it matters. Withhold it where it's weaponized. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Paradox 6. The trap of loyalty. Paradox 5 destroys the foundation of trust. The more loyal you are, the more betrayal you invite. This one hurts because loyalty is sacred to you. It's supposed to be. We're taught that loyalty is the highest virtue. Stand by your people. Never abandon ship. Ride or die. Brotherhood, sisterhood. Blood is thicker than water. Beautiful concepts, fatal in practice. Here's the brutal truth. Your loyalty is a signal. It broadcasts predictability. It announces that you'll stand by someone regardless of circumstances, regardless of logic, regardless of self-interest. And the moment people understand this about you, they stop earning your loyalty. Why would they? They already have it, unconditionally, permanently. You've given away your most valuable currency for nothing in return. Machiavelli observed that men are more likely to forgive the murder of their father than the seizure of their property. Translation: people are fundamentally self-interested. They'll exploit your loyalty the moment it becomes convenient. The person you die for will sell you out when the price is right. Not because they're evil, because they're human. And humans optimize for survival, not sentiment. Watch this pattern in your own life. How many times have you been loyal to someone who wasn't loyal back? How many times have you sacrificed for people who wouldn't do the same? How many times have you stood by someone only to have them vanish when you needed them? Your loyalty wasn't returned, it was consumed. You were a resource to be extracted, not a partner to be valued. The psychology here is straightforward. Unconditional loyalty removes incentive. When someone knows you'll be there regardless, they have no reason to maintain the relationship properly. They can neglect you, disrespect you, take you for granted. Because where are you going to go? You're loyal. You've locked yourself in. You've made yourself predictable and therefore disposable. This is why the most successful relationships, whether business or personal, operate on conditional loyalty, not unconditional, conditional, based on reciprocity, based on mutual benefit, based on continued alignment of values and interests. The moment one party stops upholding their end, the loyalty is renegotiated or withdrawn. This isn't coldness. This is respect. This is recognizing that loyalty must be earned continuously, not assumed permanently. Think about organized crime families. They romanticize loyalty obsessively. Omerta, never rat, blood oaths. Yet these same organizations have the highest rates of betrayal in human society. Why? Because forced loyalty through intimidation breeds resentment. Real loyalty can't be demanded. It must be cultivated through mutual benefit and genuine respect. Everything else is theater. Now here's the strategic application. Stop giving loyalty freely. Start treating it as conditional investment. Support people when they've earned it, when they demonstrate reciprocity, when they align with your interests. But the moment they violate that trust, the moment they show themselves to be takers rather than partners, withdraw immediately, completely, without sentimentality. This makes you unpredictable, dangerous, respected, because now people understand that your loyalty is valuable precisely because it can be lost. They have to maintain it. They have to earn it continuously. They can't just assume it and then exploit you. You've created accountability through strategic detachment. The untouchable man operates this way. He appears loyal. He functions as a reliable ally, but internally, he's always evaluating, always measuring reciprocity, always ready to sever ties the moment someone becomes a liability. He doesn't broadcast this. He doesn't announce it. He just maintains the flexibility to act in his own interest, while others assume his loyalty is permanent. Look at historical power players. They had allies, not friends, partnerships, not commitments. They collaborated when mutually beneficial and cut ties when circumstances changed. Caesar and Pompey, Roosevelt and Stalin, Gates and Allen. These relationships worked because both parties understood they were conditional arrangements based on aligned interests, not emotional bonds. Does this mean trust no one? No. It means trust wisely. It means loyalty is a two-way street, not a one-way suicide pact. It means you can be deeply committed to people while maintaining the awareness that circumstances change, people change, and self-preservation sometimes requires difficult decisions. Your blind loyalty is costing you power. It's making you exploitable. It's turning you into a tool for people who will discard you the moment someone more useful appears. Fix this. Start evaluating relationships based on reciprocity. Start treating loyalty as something earned and maintained, not given and assumed. Comment this phrase: loyalty is earned, not inherited. Show me you're ready to stop being used by people who don't deserve your allegiance. The paradox resolves like this: true loyalty exists, but it's rare, and it only survives when both parties understand it's conditional on mutual respect and benefit. Everything else is just emotional manipulation disguised as virtue. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Paradox 7. The illusion of control. Paradox 6 shatters your sense of agency. The more you try to control everything, the less control you actually have. Listen to this carefully. You're obsessed with control. Your schedule, your environment, your relationships, your reputation, your future. You micromanage every detail because you believe control equals power. You believe if you just plan enough, prepare enough, optimize enough, you'll finally feel secure. You won't. You're building a prison and calling it protection. Here's what's really happening. Every attempt to control creates new points of failure. Every system you build to manage chaos introduces new chaos. Every contingency plan reveals another vulnerability. You're not reducing risk, you're multiplying it, because the tighter you grip, the more fragile everything becomes. Machiavelli understood this intimately. He wrote extensively about fortuna, about fortune, about the role of chance in human affairs. He estimated that fortune controls about half of our actions, maybe more. The prince who believes he controls everything is delusional. The prince who understands he controls very little but maximizes leverage on those few things. That's mastery. That's power. Think about your own life. Your most painful moments probably came when your careful plans collapsed, when variables you didn't account for emerged, when people didn't behave as predicted, when circumstances shifted unpredictably. And what did you do? You blamed yourself. You thought you should have controlled it better. You added more systems, more rules, more rigidity. You made it worse. The psychology here is insidious. The need for control stems from fear, fear of uncertainty, fear of vulnerability, fear of chaos. So you construct elaborate frameworks to create the illusion of predictability. You tell yourself you're being strategic. You're actually being neurotic, because life doesn't care about your frameworks. Reality is fundamentally chaotic. Trying to impose rigid order on chaos doesn't eliminate the chaos. It just makes you brittle. Watch people who operate at the highest levels. They don't control everything. They can't. Instead, they develop adaptability, flexibility, response capacity. They build optionality rather than certainty. They position themselves to capitalize on chaos rather than prevent it. They understand that in a complex system, influence matters more than control. Direction matters more than destination. This is Stoicism merged with Machiavellianism. The Stoics taught that you control very little: your thoughts, your responses, your character. everything external, beyond your control. Fighting this reality creates suffering. The Machiavellian twist. Use this understanding strategically. Stop wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable. Redirect that energy toward maximizing your agency where it actually exists. Practically, this means several things. Stop trying to control other people's behavior. You can influence, you can incentivize, you can manipulate, but you cannot control. The moment you accept this, you stop being disappointed by human nature and start working with it. Stop trying to eliminate all risk. Instead, build resilience to handle risk when it materializes. Stop creating rigid plans that shatter on first contact with reality. Create flexible frameworks that adapt to changing conditions. The untouchable man embraces uncertainty. He doesn't fear chaos because he's developed the capacity to navigate it. He doesn't need to know exactly what's coming because he trusts his ability to respond effectively to whatever emerges. This isn't passivity. This is profound confidence. The confidence that comes from internal locus of control rather than external. Think about martial arts. The novice fighter tries to control every exchange, execute the perfect technique, follow the plan exactly. He gets destroyed by anyone who disrupts that plan. The master, he enters the fight with principles, not plans. He reads, he adapts, he flows, he turns his opponent's energy against them. He controls his responses while accepting he doesn't control the fight itself. That's where real power lives. Your obsession with control is exhausting you. It's making you rigid when you need to be fluid. It's making you fragile when you need to be anti-fragile. It's creating anxiety instead of capability. The moment you release the need to control everything is the moment you gain actual power over anything. This paradox resolves beautifully. You gain control by surrendering the illusion of control. You become powerful by accepting your limitations. You maximize agency by focusing it precisely on the small domain where it actually exists. Everything else, let it flow, let it change, let it surprise you, and develop the capacity to turn whatever emerges to your advantage. Drop in the comments, "I control only myself." Tell me you're ready to stop fighting reality and start leveraging it. Your need for control is keeping you weak. Your fear of chaos is preventing you from harnessing it. Release the grip, develop the skill. Become the person who thrives in uncertainty while others drown in their need for predictability. That's where untouchable lives.